Hey guys, it's Dr. Justin Marchegiani. Today's video is going to be on the root cause of acid reflux. We're going to dive in to Digestion 101. We're going to break down what's happening inside the body, potential infection, and food connections to acid reflux. So before we dive in, please smash that like button. It really helps the YouTube algorithm. Also, put your comments down below. What's your experience with acid reflux? What are things that you have done that have helped? All right, let's dive in. So digestion starts in the mouth. So one of the first important things to ensure that our food does not reflux upon us is we have to make sure we're chewing our food enough. So kind of generalized recommendation is about 32 chews per swallow on average. Now, is anyone going to go sit there and count their chews? No. But you have 32 teeth, 32 chews. It's an easy number to remember. You want your food to be about an oatmeal-like consistency. So if you're eating something that's in a soup form, well, that's the cooking methods break it down already. So we want to make it so it's like an oatmeal-like consistency when we swallow. That increases the surface area of the food and allows more enzymes and acids and bile to attack it and break it down. Because one of the big causes of reflux is that food is not broken down adequately. And that's a big, big component. The more we break it down, we get more enzymes in the saliva. That's going to help with the breakdown. And then we're also going to have more acidity in the gut to work on that breakdown too. So next part is stomach acidity and digestion. So one of the first major dominoes we need is we need HCl. That HCl is going to trigger pepsin to be activated. This is going to activate pepsin. That's a proteolytic enzyme, and then protein digestion starts here. That's where that's going to start. So we want to start the protein digestion. Also, acidity takes the esophageal sphincter that may be open, right? This is our stomach. And it starts to tighten it. It's going to start tightening that esophageal sphincter, and that's going to prevent the food that's down here from rising up. So first off, enough acidity will tighten this esophageal sphincter. It'll take it and bring it like this. That's going to make it harder for all this food that's refluxing up to get up. Number two, the food down here will not rot. So you're going to have the food rotting and putrefying, which means proteins are going bad. When we have enough HCl in the system, the HCl will come in there and it will attack and break down your food. It will break down the protein. The HCl activates more hydrochloric or more proteolytic enzymes. And then when this food gets released into the small intestine, you're going to have the pancreas will start producing more enzymes as well. And you're going to have the gallbladder actually producing bile too. So what's going to happen is HCl then goes from to the small intestine. And then in the small intestine, we have the pancreas. We'll make more enzymes. And then we'll have the gallbladder. We'll make more bile salts. So this is really important. So we have HCl kind of starts the domino, right? This is the big domino here that has to fall. And then we have our small intestine starting, and we have our pancreas starting. So one of the first things is having enough acidity prevents that food from rotting. Also, certain foods tend to be more inflammatory. Gluten is a big one. You'll see it potentially with fermentable carbohydrates. If there's SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, there could be some bacteria that's moving its way up to the stomach as well. And the stomach may be feeding on some of these fermentable foods. So you have various FODMAP diets, or one called the fast track diet. These are like fermentable foods that can feed some of that not so good bacteria, and that can definitely cause reflux as well. So cooking your food better, avoiding some of the fermentable foods can help. Is the food rotting inside of me? Yeah, I mean, more than likely that's part of what's going on. Infection-wise, we talked about SIBO. Can be part of it. We talked about bacterial overgrowth in the stomach. How do we know that? We can do a glucose breath test, right? We can do bacterial overgrowth, just a generalized bacterial overgrowth. We could do a glucose breath test, could be really helpful. Even a lactulose breath test that you'd see for SIBO. We want to look at H. pylori. H. pylori is also a big one. We can do a breath test for H. pylori that will look at urea and CO2. We may also want to look at an H. pylori blood work, IgG, IgM, IgA. We may also want to look at a stool antigen or a DNA test for H. pylori. I had a patient just a few minutes ago. They had H. pylori was 100 times the limit, and they also had 5 virulence factors. Virulence factors tell me how much potential inflammation and how strong that H. pylori infection is. The stronger it is, the more chance of symptoms, the greater chance you may see more acid reflux. So H. pylori is a big one. H. pylori also lowers stomach acid. So more H. pylori, more gut inflammation, lower stomach acid, poor digestion, less nutritional absorption, all right? Lots of studies show H. pylori affecting mood issues and cognitive issues. Part of it's because we need acidity to ionize and break down our minerals, and we need the acidity to break down our protein to amino acids, and those amino acids are building blocks for our brain chemicals, and of course the cholesterol and fats are building blocks for our hormones. If we don't have good brain chemicals and neurotransmitters and hormones, of course we're not going to feel good. That's really important. Putting it all together, so we have to look at infections. We have to look at food. We have to look at how we're breaking our food down. We have to look at gut function, potential bacterial overgrowth, and other types of potential parasitic infections too. It's important to look at hormones because the more stressed and inflamed we are, our hormonal and stress handling systems take a brunt. So chronic gut issues in a woman, for instance, over time could create more mood issues, more depression, more PMS. And from there, we may have other issues like constipation, right? The less we can break down our food, the slower our motility is. Now our motility is slower. Now we're going to be reabsorbing more fecal debris or more toxins. And that puts more stress on our body as well. So you can easily have a gut issue that turns into a hormone issue, which turns into PMS and mood and depression and anxiety. And then of course then lower libido, because when your hormones are off and you're not breaking down your building blocks for your hormones, you're going to have problems. So you need to see a really good functional medicine doctor that can line everything up, start with the foundation, and not just rely on a medication. This week in the news, Zantac, a common acid blocker, came out as being associated, I think even caused a causal link with cancer. I know they're pulling it off of all the shelves in various drugstores, so Zantac, a common acid blocker, is now found to be part of that cancer connection. So some of the medications may not be the best. So if you need a medication, see a good conventional medical doc, but make sure you get in with a good functional medicine doc so you can get to the root cause, so you're not on the medication forever. You can actually get to the root cause of why it's happening. Again, this is Dr. J here. Put your link and information down below if you want to schedule with myself or colleagues, and make sure you subscribe. Hit that bell so you get notifications of awesome new content coming your way. Again, this is Dr. J signing off. Y'all have a phenomenal day. Take care. Bye.